Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. Just going to go through some top news items. Futures Focus report comes out yesterday, and Russia-Ukraine peace talks are on. We'll just dig into some of those articles as we move along. So just a reminder, have a look at for this report on the weekend. Kyle puts out a great report with good information, like this slide here. So you're basically looking at just the last crop year, basically, is what you want to pay attention to. And you can see that there's a lot of color on the screen, and you can see who's all contributing to it here. And you can see the overall shipping numbers for the month, and the local crush data and total exports. So you're looking at over 6 million crushed and 4.1 exported. So you got 10 million disappearance, a little bit better. Some of the other things that are noteworthy on the bearish side, South American weather is improving. China dumping probe is still ongoing. I don't know if they're even going to talk about it right now. I know competitors were really leaning into that earlier on, and nothing's come about that. So you can see the positions that he's got, their suggestions. A lot of clients that I work with have already exited some of their longs and went short already based on this South America weather improving as well. And we'll see some slides on to kind of talk about that. So here's your red spring, bullish bearish factors. Some of the probably the main thing here is the quota. It's going to be it's kind of on and active already, and yeah, that's probably the major thing to have a look at right now. Current marketing factors on soybeans as well. Main bearish factor is just the where that crop is, and like I said, some of us have already entered into the short side here, just ahead of following that recommendation there. And the funds, you can see that they actually tailed off a little wee bit on the corn and tailed off on the soys on the commitment traders. And I'm not a huge fan of just following commitment traders, but obviously the commitment traders analysts are following a lot of the core fundamentals, and the core fundamentals are the crop is starting to get planted and starting to get produced. French wheat conditions near last year's low after heavy rains, so it's actually improved, but you can see that there's even some planting that's already started to happen as well on some of the early season crops in Europe. So cold snap would actually really hurt things over there as well. But prices extends gains after Ukraine drone hits Kazakh supply. So you got a little bit of a resurgence in the crude oil price. Indonesia is trying to push for a 50% biodiesel plan. They've got their plan to get to their 40%, and they want to push to 50. But there's going to be some huge tax implications on doing so with a subsidy of some sort, right? Australia decreased its rates yesterday, and maybe a little bit of a surprise, but at the same time they needed to do so. One of the top news items here is your U.S. Russia meet without Ukraine at the talks, but Ukraine will be involved. But you can see that they're basically trying to hash out something without even Ukraine in the room, even though they have been included. So this is what I was talking about. The harvest progress is actually starting to speed up. This is only in Montego region. So you got the harvest progress, but you can see the planting of the corn is actually sped up as well. And it's done at the same time. So it's just keep note of that. So there's been some crazy weather, but Toronto has had quite a bit of snow in the last week and keeps on getting hammered. So their issue is down there. We've got cold over here, and it seems to be it showing up into the U.S. as well. But you can see that they're probably in the minus 35 to minus 40 as we stand right now on temperature. That snow hitting the Toronto area had a plane flip over on landing, and 18 people were injured. A lot of them are back home released as well. Canola is basically flat. Rapeseed is up a little wee bit. Soy oil is flat. Palm oil is down a little bit, down a little wee bit. Crude oil up a little, and your soybean is down, and your wheat's down. Let's call it 4 to 6 cents, and corn is up a couple pennies. And the Canadian dollar is basically flat. So here we are looking at the May contract, and we peaked above that long-term line, and we're at the top end of this channel. That's the other thing I want to keep noting, is the top end of this channel. So if there's sales to get made, it should be made somewhere in this range here for sure. November canola, looking like it's going to be a place to probably start leaning in. I'm going to say I would love to see that 100% retracement value, which would put us right in at just shy of 670 kind of mark. The rapeseed is above this support line, and nice little trading range of lots of green candles here. Soybean oil has been basically nothing except for that one day. You could basically say it's even really flat, extremely flat. Palm oil has a nice little recovery and maybe a little bit of a flag formation starting there. Soybean by itself, last 3 months, we had a little bit of a peak and then pulled off the peak for sure, and we'll see where it's going to end up here. But I think definitely have to keep our eye on that one. It's trading down. Spring wheat, nice cup and saucer, nice long candle, a little bit of a pull off from the highs, but only at 61.8, kind of stalled out there. And if we look at the new crop, we're basically getting into the upper ranges of the last Fibonacci retracement area before it stalled and pulled back, but still in this upward trend. So be patient, I guess, on the new crop sale there. Same thing with the hard red winter. It's pushed up to the last retracement value, but not at new highs. And yet, if we look at the new crop, we got to the full retracement value and then pulled off. So just note that if we're taking direction from the hard red spring, we've almost had a full recovery on this cup and saucer here. March, Chicago, not as deep. We're still a little ways away. Still a couple of retracement values actually to get to the top. And the same thing as the Minneapolis, we got to the last retracement value to blow through and pull back. So not to the full retracement value, of course, to suggest any new crop sales on the Chicago and the Minneapolis. Milling wheat, basically trading sideways in this channel, but it is making higher highs or higher lows, not necessarily higher highs, and we're yet to break out of dormancy really in any substantive way there. Corn keeps bumping its head on its value there, just below $5, and the Canadian dollar finally broke out, and it's trading above the 70 cents. And I think there's some RBC clients looking at exits in some of these ranges just up here, because when you look at this length of time, it's a long time that it's been trading sideways here. And that's all I have for you today.